Sometimes as a YouTuber, you know what's going to be in a video when you hit start record. Today's not that day. I've hit start record with 5 games left of the season. We have Norwich City at home to kick things off today. We have dropped down to 4th. If we lose this game here, with 4 games left of the season, automatic promotion really doesn't look likely. We have been in some really patchy form, some good, more bad, and we have also had a youth intake. Plenty going on here, and well, hopefully today we're going to climb back into contention. We have to beat Norwich. We must beat Norwich. Let's go see if we can beat Norwich. Yes, folks, how is it going? Welcome back to episode number 79 of Park to Prem. Again, like I said last episode, apologies there wasn't a video yesterday. 3 episodes this week. I don't know what people do on their lunch breaks when I'm not around. If you did something different, let me know what you did. You probably had to watch Lelujo or something. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, as for us here at Guernsey, right now we are, as I already said, 4th in the league. We have had our youth intake. Do we do that now? You know, we'll do that now. Something positive to start the episode. And I'll tell you what, it does look rather good. What I will say is a 5-star player in our team is somewhere between Premier League quality and Championship quality. So don't think suddenly we've got the most golden of golden generations here. It's a great intake. It is a fantastic intake. But there's a few players here who, since I've signed them, their star ratings have all shot up. Initially, only 2 players were actually labelled as particularly good. Now, those 2 players were this man, Antonius Fogarty. Well, great name, strong name. He is 16 years old. You can see here, he can play right back, he can play left back. Is it mad that I think he might be a centre back? I say that. He's got 6 marking. He's an okay player. When I saw he was one of the 2 good players, my heart sank a little bit, but we might have a little superstar. And that little superstar is Dale Davidson. We've got another double D at the back. This is going to get very confusing, isn't it? Because, of course, we have got, if I can just find him real quick, Darren Dixon, and now we've got Dale Davidson. They're both players who I think are going to play centre-back. Anyway, that's a problem for future Jack. In terms of Dale here, he is naturally a left-back, although he can play left wing-back and right midfielder, which I don't really understand considering his pace and acceleration. But with 14 jumping reach and some really good mentals, great bravery, I think he's a centre-back. And with that in mind, I am training him to play centre-back right away. Here are his attributes as a centre-back. It's a little bit annoying that he's unambitious. There's a small part of me that thinks if I don't get promoted to the Premier League this year, maybe Dale comes into the first team. Maybe we just start playing him a load and seeing what becomes of him. To me, though, he looks like he could be a really good player, lacking a little bit perhaps in the pace department, but at 16 years old, loads of time for his physicals to develop, and he is without a doubt the best player to come from our youth academy ever. I say that. Hopefully there'll be even better players down the line, but there is a lot to like. His current ability is mad. Just to quickly cover a couple of the other players that we have signed. Firstly, Leo Pollard here. Another good little centre-back. A good year for defenders, I suppose. This is the first time where I feel like I've looked at the team and gone, there's actually some players who could actually be good here. Leon is one such player. Good player, gaps in his game, but at 16, loads of room to develop. We'll see how he gets on. Daniel Dragomir is a centre-back, centre defensive mid, and centre mid. He loves to play anywhere down the middle. In terms of what we're actually going to do with him, I don't have a Scooby-Doo. He's got a very weird-looking polygon. He almost looks like a goalkeeper with the shape of that. It doesn't scream at any particular role to me. So if you've got any ideas for Daniel, who is another double D, we're going to have a whole team of double Ds at this rate, aren't we? Yeah, let me know what you do with him. And the last of the top prospects, those 5 players who are labelled really highly, is another defender, and it's George Warner, who is definitely the least exciting of the bunch, but we'll keep an eye on him. If he develops, fan-bloody-tastic. Does feel like this year is the first year where I can look at our youth recruitment, our training facilities, our youth facilities, things that we really have thrown money at in recent years and think, yeah, actually, we are now starting to really get some reward from that. Now, last episode, you might remember we took on Southampton, we took on Derby County. You can see those 2 results there. Of course, we lost to Bristol City in between. Since then, a rough run of games, which was, well, initially kicked off by this result against Stoke. We lost 4-1. I don't think we deserve to lose 4-1. Vaughan's lost his head, and ever since I sold Vaughan for 7.5 million, he has been rubbish. So I'm kind of glad we sold him when we did. Yeah, I mean, you can see here. We sold him for 7.5 million, loaned him back. He has been crap, and to be honest, he's just not been in the first team. Gave him a chance here, did not repay my faith, got sent off. The next game we had was against bottom of the table Portsmouth. 0-0 draw. 3 disallowed goals in this game. Yeah, I don't... 3 disallowed goals. I don't know how we didn't win this one. I mean, we had 2 shots on target, but Yeah, it's dropped points against the team who are bottom of the table. There's no way to sugarcoat it. The only game we've won since last episode was this one. 6-0 against Blackpool. 6-0. Yeah, 6-0. Why can't we play like this all the time? I don't know. In our most recent game, we lost 2-1 against Hull City as well. Teixeira scored an own goal in the last minute. I don't know if we can count that as a goal towards his season tally. Now at 14 goals for the year. He has slowed down a little bit, but still some pretty good numbers by the centre-back. Also really, really good to see his value shooting up. This year, I have noticed a lot of our players' values are just starting to climb and climb and climb. And with a little bit of interest showing in some of them, does get me a little bit excited for maybe some wheeling and dealing in the summer. Although, I know people will write if I even did this, I don't think I plan on selling Teixeira. I mean, how much would I sell him for? I feel like he's kind of untouchable. So with all those recent results, this is how the league table looks. As I said, we are in 4th place. 1 win in our last 4. We're on 80 points. We're only 1 point behind Aston Villa and Peterborough. But naturally today is our toughest game in this run of games to end the season. We are taking on top of the table Norwich City. We played them earlier on in the year. We lost 3-1. Need a better result here. If we lose this one and Villa and Peterborough win, with 4 games left of the season, I'm worried. And also, you might be thinking, Jack, what's the plan beyond today's first match? I don't know. I think a lot is going to be determined by what we see in the next 90 minutes. So when it comes to team news for today's game, this is the team we're going to go with. We are pretty much at full strength. Volder has come into the team and started playing more regularly at wing-back, with Vaughan's kind of struggling. Back to where we started the season, to be honest. Luke was a really good starter. We kind of took him out of the team, but he's back in now and has been performing particularly well. Elsewhere, though, nothing too crazy going on. Did consider giving Cammy Cooper a bit more of a regular run of starts in the team, but his recent form has been a little bit hit and miss. As a result, he is going to be our go-to super sub. Beyond that, though, this is the kind of game that if we want to get promoted, we need to win. Norwich, though, a very, very good side. Seen some comments about it recently. I believe this guy is a face in the game regen. He's not playing against us today, fortunately, because he's got injured. But Kane Full of Love. Strong name. Would sign him for the name, except he's valued at 27 to 39 million. He has wages of £47,000, and Norwich bought him for 20 million this year. Imagine having 20 million just to spend on a striker for the name. Anyway, let's see how we go going into this one. Naturally, because of our recent form, I have to be a little bit apprehensive. I'm not sure we're expected to win this game, truth be told. I feel like this season we have been constantly overperforming, and we're now maybe reaching a point in the season where we're showing that we don't just quite have the legs to maintain this overperformance for the whole year. That is a very, very difficult task, and we have been slipping up more and more as of late, which is always a concern. The good news is we are still in the playoff picture at the very least, and well, I was going to say the good news is we're still finding Teixeira's forehead. Unfortunately, on that occasion, he's hit the crossbar and it's gone over. Halfway through this first half, we've had 72% of the ball. We are dominating possession. Norwich are yet to have any kind of meaningful shot. I mean, they've had a shot on target, but it was less than a 0.01 XG, so I kind of wish I could go and see that shot. Not too long left of this first 45 minutes, to be honest. Whilst this isn't exactly a classic performance, it's the kind of performance that I think we need in a game like this, where we just need to hold on, try and control the play where we can. What I would say is, a big positive, Norwich have not done anything in this half. We have stuck to our guns, stuck to our principles, and at half-time, it's 0-0. It's not been a classic, but in some ways, a draw really wouldn't be the worst result here. I've just noticed Schmid has picked up a little knock at centre-back. I'm going to take him off just because we don't really have an alternative to him, so I don't want to lose him. Just wondering if I should make further changes here. Gaddy has not had the best performance. Cammy Cooper, on you come. And you know what? McKillop on for Machete, I think. McKillop has been a regular player in our team this year. A player who's really proved himself and developed a lot. Giving him game time in matches like this is only going to enhance that development. And he is a player who has kind of earned my trust. Do you ever have those players in Football Manager who just seem to constantly pop up in important moments? They constantly seem to be a player you can rely upon. And they're not as good as the other players in the same position, but you kind of find yourself gravitating towards them. That man is McKillop in this team. I've got a couple of players on yellow cards here, which I don't exactly love. Let's bring in Jack McKenzie. I'm going to take off Abubakari as well, I think, and bring in Dale Owen. I had a lot of hype around Dale Owen. He scored that goal in the free draw against Aston Villa. He has not scored since. We'll see if he can do anything here. This does feel like Guernsey last year, doesn't it? We've had moments this year where it was the Guernsey of old, where there were goals everywhere. And there's also been moments like this match here, where it's the defensive Guernsey, it's the resilient Guernsey, it's the annoying Guernsey. We don't want to be broken down, and we want to try and make something happen, and we're looking at things to happen. I'm looking at Jack McKenzie thinking, you would be an unlikely hero from left wing back to get the winning goal. And, well, with that effort there, I don't think I back him to get the winning goal. It was not a good strike on goal. Baxter now has the ball for Norwich. Norwich are playing a 4-4-2 here, which I think is a system we match up really nicely against. We can really crowd it out, and, well, we might have a chance here with players coming forward. Kavan Williams trying to keep the ball alive, does really well to keep it in play. Battling in the middle, but Norwich come away with the ball again. Looking to get it down the line where Vaughan's is going to win the header. Volder inside to Scotty Williams, the centre-back, spreads it to McKenzie in this wide area. Can the left-back making a cameo appearance pick out a good ball? He can, and Cammy Cooper's in the box as well to make it 1-0 here with 15 minutes left. This is a massive result in our season. If, of course, crucially, we do indeed hold on to the lead. 15 minutes left here, still plenty of time for either team, but two subs linking up near post cross. Cooper on the volley. You gotta love it. I've just noticed here, Norwich have gone down a man. They've had an injury after they've made all their subs. Surely this has to be our game to win now. Surely this is just a game we see out from here. They have created nothing with 11 men. There is nothing to lead me to believe they will be able to create anything with a man less, especially because I think they've sacrificed a man in the final third. Of course, I say all of this as the ball floats into the box, and for a moment I think, why did I say anything? Good news for us though, Tommy Setford, ever reliable, plucks the ball out the air. Now he is going to spread it down to Williams. Now with McKenzie at left wing back, he is going to cut inside. You beautiful man, you donkey. I mean, it's okay. We've got the ball. McKenzie's actually looked quite lively in this game, hasn't he? Down the line to Cooper, the two kind of players who linked up for the goal, linking up again, and we have got a penalty. Oh my word. Tejera over it? Tejera over it, please. Score this, 2-0. I think the game's done. A little bit of fortune about the fact they got an injury having made all their changes, but you know what? We've taken chances that have come our way. We've looked great at the back, and it is 2-0 here. Tejera, 15th goal of the season. You might be wondering, Jack, is Tejera really the best penalty taker on the pitch? We have an incredible lack of penalty takers here at Guernsey. Yes, he is one of the best penalty takers on the pitch. 2-0, 4 minutes left. Wouldn't mind a third. Goal difference could be a factor at the end of the year. That's all I'm going to say. We need some goals. We need some difference. Vaughan's to Volder. He is going to try and bring it down the line, battling away. Can he get the ball in? He tries to. It's cleared away, but only as far as Percy Donald. Well, I thought Percy Donald was going to get there. He didn't end up winning the ball. McKenzie now on the near side. Going to the byline. Can he put another ball of quality into the box? He does. He's been pulling the strings out there. And Cavan Williams nods it. Not far off target. Another chance for us here. It's another kind of set-piece corner back post. Tejera's there. Tell you what, this definitely could have been 3 or 4 on another day. 5 minutes of added time. We have had 65% of the ball here. We've created so much. Norwich have had 2 shots on target. Without their star striker, we have completely shut them down in this game. And I mean, when you look at the stats, when you look at the scoreline, and you look at the performances, I think it was more than deserved. Really good as well, actually, to see our subs in that game making a real meaningful impact. Cooper looked really good. He scored for us. He won the penalty. And to make a great day slightly better, Peterborough just drew 1-1 against Portsmouth, who were bottom. So it's not just us who are dropping points against Portsmouth. As for Aston Villa, they must have won. Where are you? They won 4-1. Well, why couldn't West Brom do me a favour? Okay, that is actually an amazing result for us, especially with Peterborough dropping points. I'm beginning to think now, because we have to come up with a plan, we are going to do the Burnley game in 3 days today, and then on Monday, triple header, end of season live. I feel like that's the way to do things, because this does now feel like it could go down to the very, very last game of the season. Every single game matters. We have Burnley in 3 days' time. Don't go anywhere. Stay frosty. I'll be back in a mo. Okay, game number 2 today, Burnley. I have to apologise. This season, we've played a lot of the same teams twice in live commentaries. Not really planned, but naturally, with the season that we're having, I feel like there's so many twists and turning points during the season that I have to come back and focus on, and this is just one of them. If we win here today, we can move it into the automatic promotion spots. Heck, we can move top of the table, and with 3 games left, we have a shot at the Premier League in what would be perhaps the most bonkers end-of-season episode ever. Knowing how we've played this year, we're probably just going to bottle this one and be back down in 4th, and I'm going to feel sad. Regardless, though, I think I'm as ready as I'm going to be. So for this game, I have rested up all the players. I don't really want to change the starting 11 off what we played last game, although I am going to make one change. Cameron Cooper really impressed me in his cameo last game. He is going to get the nod as our advance forward, a player who's very good in the air, pretty quick as well, 15 acceleration. The kind of man who I think is going to be able to cause opposition problems, and if he doesn't have a good day at the office, players like Gadia are a dream to have coming on off the bench. Against tiring defences, as players get a bit tired, a bit slower, just mentally as much as physically, a player like Gadia, who's very, very sharp, has some decent anticipation combined with his pace and off-the-ball movement, he's really going to be able to make the most of the space that is available to him late on in games. Besides that, though, this is the team we're going to go with. Would love another clean sheet. Would love another win. Please make it happen, boys. Burnley, by the way, playing a 4-4-2. The Burnley roots are still strong, even 11 years into this save game. Scotty Williams with the ball at the back for us. 10 minutes into this game, knocking the ball around. We've dominated possession in the early spells, but possession doesn't win you football matches, goals do, and I would love to see us score an early one here. Schmid, Donald, lovely build-up play. Adam on the overlap, crosses it in. And I'll tell you what, if Williams scored that, it's almost a goal of the season contender just for the movement. Unfortunately, it's a great stop by the keeper. Burnley are defending so compactly here. You can see from their average positions, they are so narrow in this game. With that in mind, I'm just going to tell the players to just stretch the pitch a little bit. Let's try and get a little bit wider. Let's try and get the wing-backs into more dangerous areas and see if we can make something happen here. Because I feel like with how they're playing, there's going to be a little bit of space on the wings for the wing-backs to move up into. And, well, there could be an immediate reward for our changes because Schmid has the ball. Back to Donald. Schmid to Gera, knocking it around at the back. Look at this. We're carving them open. Cooper hits it on the volley. It's hit the outside the post and gone wide. And I very nearly felt so justified in my decision to pick him. Would Gadia have scored it? We may never know. Oh, we can't live with that mindset, though, can you? You can't live with that mindset of would X player have scored it because that chance probably never happens if Gadia's on the pitch. That said, it's hard not to look at it as a chance missed. But maybe a chance to make amends here, because Volder's on the overlap, lays it to Williams, who's going to take it through the middle, and Cooper is there. He scores an absolute tap-in, and it's come from playing really wide. We transitioned from the left over to the right. The Burnley defence didn't move with the ball. And Volder had just so much time and space here. I mean, you can just see. Picks out his man. Great ball through. Williams has an effort. It's almost a sensational save, but Cooper very alive to it, getting into a good area and nodding it in to make it 1-0. Corner for us here. Williams putting it on a plate for Tejera, who heads it just over again. I'd love it if he could just head it on target a little more often. I say that to the centre-back that scored 15 goals this season. Some of them have been penalties, but I am probably being a bit harsh. Coming up to the closing point here of the first half, 27% of possession for Burnley. They are yet to have a shot on target. It has been a bullying display by us. I would love to get another goal before half-time if we could. That said, Burnley may be looking to catch us on the break here. We've committed men forward with the throw-in. Tejera getting into the box in those situations because I want his aerial threat. But having, well, dealt with our initial onslaught, Burnley looking to try and turn the tide of battle. But with balls like that, it's not going to happen. They gift us possession. Schmid to Donald. Adam on the overlap. Bringing it forward here, the left wing back. Doesn't want to run into trouble. Lays it inside to Cooper. This is delightful. Cooper, he's got one goal. He's got confidence. It's flowing through his veins, and Cameron Cooper. Oh my word. What an episode for this man. Signed for, what was it, £230,000 from Queen's Park in January. Brought him in. He hasn't had that many chances. I'm going to have to give him a whole load more chances after this one. He turns on the afterburners. He runs past 4 players and then just smooshes it down the middle. That goal did catch me out. That was one of those highlights in Football Manager where normally you watch your player go on this mental run and then they just smash it over the crossbar. The commentator goes, that would have been a great goal. And you sit there and think, never see those ones go in. Anyone else relate to that? Just me? Probably. 2 goals up. Don't need to overcomplicate it here. Gonna tell the players I'm very pleased. And, well, we have a kickoff highlight immediately. You'd think one more goal here would really seal the deal. Truth be told, with what we've seen in the first half, 2-0 should seal the deal. Burnley did not create anything, but I can't expect them to play as poorly in this second half as they did in the first half. They were really lacklustre. And well, we might have a chance here. Walder nodding it on. Williams hits it on. And Boubakari, I don't know why he didn't take more of a touch there. I think he wanted to score a sexy goal as well. Unfortunately, his effort's off target. Coming up to an hour played here, still 2 goals to the good. Nothing in this second half to really change my mind in terms of our approach. Although I'm going to make a couple of changes. Let's bring in Vaughan's. Boubakari struggled a little bit. I'm going to bring in McKillop, I think. And also, you know what? Let's bring in some more fresh legs. Blaine Goller, on you come. You can see from the heat map, we have just dominated the possession, knocking it around the back. It's kind of death by 1,000 cuts. We just force Burnley to chase, then make the most of the times where we are able to break them down as they get tired. And we've broken them down again. Tejera back post, goal number 16. Williams with the corner assist. We've seen that before this year. I think we have been way worth our 3-goal lead here. There could be more as well, to be honest, before the game's over. Although maybe I should be focusing and prioritising a clean sheet. It would be quite nice to keep one, wouldn't it? I feel like we had one last game. Defensively, we've been so much better this year than we have been any previous season. And, well, I realise I'm saying all of this as they're on the attack. Why am I doing this to myself? Adam, nice block. Still not away from danger, though. And Ngakia whipping it in. Nodded away. Only as far as Ramsey, though. Because when we took on Burnley earlier on in the year, we did beat them handsomely then. I feel like we've got the beating of Burnley. We've got their number, we know their weakness, their fire type, we're water type. It's too easy for us. I did worry a little bit about them playing kind of the 4-4-2, the overlaps of the wing-backs and the wide midfielders, maybe doubling up on the wing-backs, but it just hasn't materialised. With the way that they're playing, they're defending so narrow when they don't have the ball that when they do get the ball, they're not able to transition and actually start to try and create those overloads in the wide area. Schmid to Donald, building the ball out from the back here. McKillop inside to Cooper, lays it towards Williams. It's dealt with, but only as far as Adam at left back. He plays into Williams, who's fired that against the crossbar. Thought it might have been offside, but he timed his run to perfection and unfortunately didn't get goal number 4 there. Wasn't sure what to expect going into today's episode. What I have seen is 2 phenomenal performances. 2 of the best performances I think we've put in all season. Dominating possession, dominating the play. Burnley haven't had a shot on target in this game. We could have had a lot more goals on another day, but 3-0. Still an absolutely monstrous result. Does our goal difference a load of good? What happened in the games elsewhere? Did Peterborough slip up? Did Villa slip up? Did Norwich slip up? I'll tell you what's happened. Norwich have won. Peterborough have won. Aston Villa lost 3-0 to Watford. Shout out to Watford in 8th. You've just done us a massive favour. With 3 games left of the season, we're in 2nd. I can't believe it. I can't believe how good it's gone today. Just as a reminder, before this episode, since last episode, I'd only won 1 of 4 games, albeit a win 6-0. So this win here and the win previously, just absolutely massive. Williams getting 2 more assists, by the way. He now has 20 assists and 19 goals for the season, which, if we just look at the championship stats, he has 20 assists. The next highest is 13. And in fact, Adam at left back has 13 of his own. This man at left back has been a revelation this year. I don't sing his praises enough. It's been a really good season so far for our wing-backs. Waldo has also been putting in a mighty good shift. But to be honest, it's just been a really good team performance. Whilst, yes, Williams' contributions have been massive. Teixeira's been massive. It has been a real team effort. Lots of players digging deep and putting in a shift when we need it. And suddenly we find ourselves on the brink of the impossible. I know I mentioned it last episode. I know I mentioned it earlier today. I am very sorry that this week there's only been 3 episodes, just stuff going on. I'm sure you guys understand. We all have lives. Sometimes things get in the way. But next week we should be back to normal. So hopefully you're looking forward to next week. I've got to go the whole weekend now worrying about this set of games. 3 games, 2 away days as well. I'll tell you what, Monday's going to be bloody brilliant. If you are excited for that episode and you've enjoyed this one, do make sure to drop a like on it. It is massively appreciated, especially with the more sporadic uploads. It just helps make sure the videos get out there. Besides that, take it easy. I'll be back next time to end the season. Until then, it's me, Jack. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.